And welcome to Cheryl's Network Live, where we have tips and strategies on building a home business. And today in the studio, I have with me Joan Peck. Joan, it's great to see you.
It's good to see you.
We've been old friends for a long time. And you tell us a bit about yourself. I know you've got this book that we're going to talk about, but tell us a bit about your background and how you got to becoming a writer.
Well, like many people, I've always wanted to write, but it was only after the death of my son in 2005 that I really began to write, mainly to kind of save myself. After his death, I really needed a way to look at life differently and to look at sections of living because everything seemed so overwhelming. So what I did at the suggestion of somebody is look at the chakras. Well, when I started looking into it, the chakras, the body's 7 major chakras, the body's portals for energy, and it was so confusing to me because of the Sanskrit and different wording that I decided I had to make it simple. So that's when I wrote my first book. And then I wrote another book after that, How to Live the Energy of the Chakras. Then after that, I wrote a book called What You Need to Know to Live a Spiritual Life, which is an anthology. And I have 28 different authors here from the Valley who participated, healers. Even though I had wanted people had wanted to be a part of it out of state, and I said, no, I think I'm going to keep it right here in the Valley because I believe the Valley is going to be one of the greatest healing places in the world.
I agree.
Yeah, because of the light, mainly,
yes,
as we go. So then I became an editor as well. So I'm doing great as an editor. But Jay and myself had really talked about helping people with addiction, and before he died. And after he died, I really thought that I would write a book, and then at working with Cheryl, who is the person who channeled in some of this information, a great lady, by the way, I realized, and she had said, that this was a pre-life agreement we had. Either he would kick his addictions and we would help people with addictions, or plan B, he wouldn't, and he would help from the other side. And so that's what this latest book, Prime Threat, Shattering the Power of Addiction, is all about.
This is our book, yes.
It's a fascinating book, fascinating information.
Well, it sounds like it. It's a fascinating topic. So, so how did you make this happen? Because you've mentioned that you've spoke to your son through this whole book.
Right. Well, through Cheryl Johnson, who was a channeler, we had some sessions, and it's Jay and the others, that's what I call them. They are our guides, some of the masters, and they have all been part of the group that was, we had that agreement, pre-life agreement, and actually Cheryl was a part of that. And so we could have these sessions, and I could ask him all the questions I wanted to know. You know, how did this happen? How did it come to this? What would have made a difference?
You mean, how did he get addicted? And
yes, and then to find out he came in this lifetime with addictions, which made sense to me because at 2 years old, he was climbing into medicine cabinets to get medicine. And then I had to take him to the hospital to get his stomach pumped and all of that. And then after that, he became really addicted to sugar, which most of us living are addicted to sugar. And we all have addictions, whether we want to.
We all do.
Whether we want to own them or not.
Yes, whether we want to admit it.
I have several, actually.
Yes, I do too.
Sugar is definitely one of them. For sure. So.
And so it's very intriguing to me as to how you channeled to speak to him and for him to tell you all this information.
Right, and a lot of people, you know, are questioning, well, gee, if you work with a channeler, and you have to have somebody who is open to receiving the information. And I had to learn to do this through this process.
You had to learn to be open to receiving it.
Yes, yeah. And I started in 2008 with the book. But you know it's the same person because he has the same sense of humor. And so some of the things he said, nobody else would know. But I
you,
did.
yeah,
Right.
you would know,
Yeah.
being his mother.
Right. Yeah.
And so what do you plan to do with this book? How do you, because you plan to help others, I believe.
Right. There is the LV Recovery Center that I'm planning to contact. There are other people where Jay was in rehab before where I'm going to be sending the book. And then it's amazing. People come to me. I don't even know how they find me, but they need the book. And so that's been very helpful.
Is it people that have family members that have
Yeah.
addictions and they need to understand
Yes.
why this is?
Right. And even one man who stepped forward and he was going through withdrawal, and he was very interested in the book. So I said, for heaven's sakes, take it, please. You know.
So he's trying to get off of drugs, or
Well, trying to understand what addiction is, because everything is energy. And so the energy part of it, the addiction part of it, is what we all need to learn, how to live in the higher levels of energy. The lower levels, the third dimension that we live in, is all negative. And addiction lives in where the mind is.
where
that
the
monkey
negative
chatter.
is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that monkey chatter says you
And-
can't, you can't, you can't.
It's so hard for some people to change that mindset.
It's hard for everyone to.
Yes.
Because the monkey chatter gets so much attention, and when you give it attention, it becomes stronger.
You just get more of what you give attention to.
You bet.
Yeah.
You bet.
Yeah.
For sure.
So tell us now about some of the things that you plan to do to really help people on a big level with this book, with speaking and.
Well, I'm hoping to speak, which is such a joke for me in a way, because I always hated to speak.
Not anymore.
Yeah,
now you
no,
have a
good.
big message.
I do. And so I can easily speak about it and enjoy speaking about it. Because I really think that what Jay has shared with us and what my next book is on how I got into balance has a lot of value for people.
So it helped you. So tell us a bit
yeah.
about that.
Well, it really helped me to understand that, well, as he says in the book, the greatest gift that you can give anyone going through addiction is to keep your life in balance. Because when your life is in balance, your energy is high. And when the alcoholic or drug addict is using, their energy is low.
Very well.
So when you become next to that person who's high, your energy automatically raises up.
Oh.
So then I thought, well, golly, okay, then I need to get in balance. Because as I say in the book, anyone who lives with somebody who is addicted gets to ride the pony of the addicted, whether they want to or not. So you really need to step back and see how you can become healthy. And I needed to do that. So that was the first thing that I learned to do, and really to let go of what other people were saying and doing, and you always go through the blame game and whatever. So it was was really refreshing to get some of the advice that he has, and it's in the book too.
It's all in the book.
It's all in the book.
And so what kind of groups would you be speaking to? What would be your ideal group to contact you to speak?
I would like to go to the Las Vegas Recovery Center.
Ah, awesome.
Yes, I'd like to do that. I would even like to go to the prisons and talk to the women in prison.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I know some people at the Recovery Center.
Yeah, nice,
Yeah.
good.
Some contacts that could help you.
Yeah, that would be great, actually.
So then is your goal to just go and speak to all of these groups and to just give them value and to assist them in dealing with their own issues that are happening?
Well, I would love for them to, for any place like that, to be able to get a hold of these books and use it as something to help both the parents and the addict as well.
Yes. So where is the book available right now?
The book is available at Amazon.com. It's both ebook and paperback book. You can also order it through my website, where my other books are as well. And all my books
And how
are
many
on
other
Amazon.
books do you have now?
This is the fourth one.
Fourth book, and so
Yeah.
your other 3 books are on the website. What are the names of those books?
And they are also at Amazon.com. And that is what you need to know to live a spiritual life. The 7 major chakras, keeping it simple, and how to live a successful life.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
And so this is just, and so you're writing 2 more books, you said?
2 more books, right. Yeah.
Excellent. And when do you plan to have those out?
One probably at the end of the year, and the other not until next year.
Oh, okay. All right.
It takes time.
And so why don't you give our listeners your phone number to contact you, or if you want to give your phone number,
Sure.
or your website. Do you have a website?
I do.
All right.
My phone number is area code 702-423-4342. And my website is www.bejeweled7.com. And I'll spell it BEJEWELED, the number 7. Bejeweled7.com.
That's an interesting name.
Yes.
That's awesome. Yes, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Joan, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure to interview you today. This is a very important topic, and I can just imagine that this is going to help hundreds of thousands of people over time.
I hope so, too.
This is like leaving a legacy.
Thank you.
Yeah, a very big legacy. So thank you again for joining us today. And again, it's
you.
Cheryl with Cheryl's Network Live. And go to our blog and check out our many tips and ideas on growing your home business at cherylsnetworklive.tv. And we will see you next time. Thank you again for joining us. We're grateful that you've tuned in. Have a great day.